All right, welcome back, everybody. Some more Grand Forks Bantam A hockey getting underway this morning here in Grand Forks, playing at the Blue Line Iceplex North rink, a rink we don't play a ton of games at, but I've had at least one or two here earlier in the season. We took on the other Grand Forks team here in town. Taking on Mandan today, a team from the West. We have not played them yet this year. They've been, in, I think, in a tournament that we were in, but never got to play them. So it'll be interesting to see how this one goes. Unfortunate result last night for the Aviators, a 3-0 loss out there in Devil's Lake. That was an East Region game, so needed those points, but looking to right the ship here this morning, taking on Mandan. Mandan, one of the top teams in the West Division, but no one really dominating that West Division. I think the best record out there is 7-5 or something like that. And a couple of teams tied up at the top up there, Williston in there as well, which is the team we'll be taking on tomorrow. 11 a.m. start on that one. You're going to want to tune into that one, though. We'll have special little productions and stuff for the final regular season home game for the Aviators. So the second-year players will be honored in that game, as well as their parents, which will be their final technical youth hockey game before moving on to high school. For all those kids, most of them probably already in high school, but moving on to the high school program. So we'll talk probably with some parents, doing introductions, having the parents either line up with them or doing something. And we'll find all that out tomorrow, but make sure if you have the time and want to see that, tune into that one. That'll be a fun one. Other than that, we got about 3 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the warm-up here. Looks like Dom will be starting in net, like with the start last night. Aviators out shooting Devils Lake pretty heavily, 2-1, I believe. It ended up with 40-some shots to 20. But the goaltender, obviously, for Devils Lake playing very, very well and keeping the Aviators scoreless. We're still just under 3 minutes to go here. I'm going to take a short little break, and we'll be back when we get closer to getting this game going. All right, about a minute left to go in the warm-up here. So as far as the schedule going forward here, obviously the game right now, and then we'll have one tomorrow. That's the final regular season home game for the Aviators. Will be taking on Williston tomorrow at 11 a.m. And then Tuesday, I believe it is, we have a makeup game that we have to finish. It is a East Region or East District, however you want to call it, game that needs to be played. So we'll be headed up to Grafton as we were supposed to earlier in the year, but got postponed due to weather. So we'll be taking care of that one on Tuesday. That'll be the final regular season game for these Aviators, and then depending on how the standings shake out, the way it's looking as of right now is Devils Lake probably will be our play-in opponent. So that is almost determined. Not necessarily things could shake out with other games going on and how the Aviators do in these next few games, or especially the one on Tuesday, with Grafton being the top team in the district. Could be a tough one to end the season on, but depending on how points shake out, it all depends on if we're going to be back in Devils Lake or if Devils Lake will be coming to Grand Forks. The puck's getting picked up here. Players will gather around their goaltender one more time down in the corner, and then they'll head out to the face-off dot to get this game underway. They already got 17 minutes up on the board. We just need to get this these pucks picked up, and we can get this one underway as you see them headed over to the corner there to gather around Dom for the start of this one. We're doing the introductions right now. They're doing them to the players. The players aren't skating out to the line or anything. You see them over there in the corner still gathering around their goaltender. We should be able to have the game tomorrow. Well, I will, no matter what, have the game tomorrow covered on live stream, and then Tuesday as well. I should be able to make it up there for that one. But keep an eye out on the Facebook page for that. As we get ready for this one, trying a little new spot here at the Blue Line Iceplex, kind of on top of the team here a little bit, just above the scorers table. Normally I'm straight across the top of those red seats, but wanted to see what this perspective is like. It's a little bit closer to the action. Not as many parents or anything like that out here. So we'll see how it happens or how it works out here. Seffi gets ready to take the face off. She wins that one over to Mason Fargo. Seffi gets it again. Dumps this one down in the corner. Caden Yano will chase after behind the net. Mandan gets there first, comes over to Seffi. Seffi out to the point, gets tipped out, but kept in by Miedema. There's an opportunity for Caden Yana as he tried to backhand one on. Seffi pushed one just wide as well. Comes up the sidewall. Mandan trying to get this one on the center ice. Dumped all the way down. Looks like we'll get our first icing call as Miedema gets there just a little bit late. The whistle blows, and we'll head back down into the Mandan end as looks like they'll change up the lines here a little bit. The Fiala line coming out for the Aviators. Blasky and Shower with him. Norby and Henderson on defense. Fiala to take the face off. One back. Henderson dumps it down far corner. Yano will chase after this one. Ties up his man in the corner. Blasky comes in, pokes it loose. Mandan will get control. Trying to feed this one up the wall. They get it up. The sidewall goes off of Fiala's skate. Second chance comes out in the neutral zone right here in front of us. Comes loose over to Dax at center ice. He pushes it forward. Gets up to Shower. Shower trying to get through the defense. Lost the handle. Couldn't quite pull the trigger. Ends up coming over the near side where Shower's going to try to steal that one away. Shower takes a big hit. Mandan just dumps this one down. That'll go for icing. We'll head back down into the Mandan end as looks like the Aviators are sending out some more fresh legs. Well, just over a minute played here in the first period. Nicholson's line comes out for the Aviators. He'll take the face off. He's out there with Owen Berg. There's a big shot sent on by Benson, goaltender, who was able to get the legs closed there and hold on to that one. Owen Berg and wide by are the wingers on this Nicholson line. Benson and Kulak on defense. Going over to the sidewall. Berg dumps it down below the goal line, rings around to the far side. Kulak will slide up to keep this one in the zone. Dumps it down, comes all the way around to the near side. Benson will chip down just a little bit. And out into the neutral ice by Mandan, but Nicholson picks it up, gets it into the zone, but they're able to chip it right back out. Kulak sends that one in, but a little bit early there as Nicholson was still in the zone. So we'll get our offsides call and some fresh legs out there at forward for the Aviators. Looks like it'll be Seffi's line out there with Caden Yana and Mason Fargo. Not a lot of flow to this game quite yet. Most of the plays have been down in the Mandan end, but not a lot of grade A opportunities for the Aviators as of yet. Seffi over to Yana on the near side. Centering pass gets it over to Fargo right side. Shots it on tip, just went up and over the net. Mandan gets on it first in the corner, slipping away from a couple of Aviators. Just ended up the wall now to the far side. They bring it in the zone. Kulak takes a swipe at it, gets around. Shot sent on. Dom seals off the post there, makes a save, and Benson picks it up, feeds it through the middle of it behind Yana. Mandan gets control. They feed it back to their defense. Back through the middle over to the right side. Shot sent on, blockered away there by Dom into the corner. Picked up by Kulak. Kulak chips one up the wall, gets it over to Benson. Benson changes direction, feeds it over the other way, gets it to Mason Fargo. Not quite out, though. Shot sent down, goes off the back of the net, picked up by Kulak. Kulak gets it poked away from him. It'll be Benson, sends it up the wall, gets it to Fargo, feeds it to the middle, gets it to Seffi. Seffi will get this one out of the neutral zone, gets hit a couple times. She'll go for a change. Mandan gets control in their own zone. They'll feed over the near side, but off the mark. Picked up by Fiala. Had it stolen away from him. Shower with it, sends it through the middle of Blasky, but off the mark. Almost stolen away here. It will finally be stolen away by Blasky as he dumps it down into the corner. Shower gets on it first. Takes a look. Feeds it out front. Trying to hit Blasky a little bit in front of him. Mandan trying to get this one out. Green will slide down to keep it in. Battle for it along the boards down there. Comes popping loose. Fiala trying to get a poke at it. Blasky and Shower run into each other. Meet him out with a nice defensive stop there, but gets sealed off the wall by Shower. Shower with it in his own zone. Makes the move, lost the handle. Gets it back, skates this one out in the near zone. Trip down he goes, but no whistle here. Miedema defending in the corner. Tied up along the wall. Miedema looks like he'll dig it out. Now Fiala will help out. He'll skate behind his own net. Sends one off the glass. This one's going to go all the way down for icing as well. We'll head back into the Aviators' end here for a face-off. 13-17 remaining. First period still 0-0. Shot showing 2-1 in favor of Mandan. As Nicholson's line comes out, we'll be out there with Owenberg and wide by. Henderson and Norby on defense. Henderson behind the net, trying to steal his puck back. Daxon there as well. Henderson will get control. Sends it through the middle, goes off of Daxon's skate. Comes over to Nicholson. He'll skate this one on his own, but backhands one over and gives it to Berg. Berg down the right side. Sets up in the corner. Takes a shot, goes off a stick up and over the net. Henderson will slide down. Comes loose up the high slot here. Nice job by Berg stealing that one away. Gets it on the stick up by. Trying to get control of it here. They dump it down in the corner. Comes to Nicholson. Nicholson centering pass. Quick stick there by the goaltender. Otherwise, Berg would have had a good quick swipe at it. Back comes Mandan. Down the middle. Shot sent on. Dom thought he had a glove there. Ended up leaking out the back side. Daxon chips this one up the wall. Tied up on the wall is by. Daxon joins. Pushes this one out to the blue line, but not out. Mandan able to keep it in. But off the skate of Berg. He kicks this one down. He'll go for a change. Mandan will get on it first. Daxon chasing after, putting the pressure on Mandan here while the other four Aviators get a change. There's Mason Fargo now put on the pressure. Mandan still with control. They send it through the middle. And back they come. 3-on-2 into the zone. Offsides, though. The ref on the near side says, and we're going to face off far side there just outside the Aviators' end with 11:59 to go here in the first period. Got a little bit of a figure skater's harness there in the way right in front of us, but we'll deal with that. We've dealt with worse. Mason Fargo down the right side. Got tripped up there a little bit. Mandan sends it back towards the Aviators' end where it's picked up by Benson. Benson over to his deep partner, Kulak. Kulak back to Benson. A little misplayed there. It's still in the Aviators' end. Benson tried to get one up to Yana. Yana gets it up to the blue line, but not out. Back down to Benson. Benson goes below the goal line, takes a look. Behind his net to set up. Backhands it up the wall. Yano went down to get it, but got sealed off there. There's a shot attempt by Mandan. They got blocked. That'll be picked up by Kulak on the far side. He'll skate this one down, brings it in the zone, takes a shot, goal off the goaltender's blocker, rings around to the near side. Mandan gets on it first. Fiala trying to put the pressure on. Blasky almost stealing that one away in the slot, but Mandan able to get it through. They'll dump this one in. Dom will make the glove save, holds on to that one. We'll get a face-off. Should be on the far side of the Aviators end. Sorry about the camera. It's kind of bouncing all over the place. I'm going to try to lock it in here. There we go. So 11 minutes, 4 seconds to go first period. 0-0 between Grand Forks and Mandan. High slot opportunity knocked away here by Miedema. Miedema feeds it up to Fiala. Fiala through the neutral zone over the red line. Now down to the Mandan end. Shots it on. Goaltender makes the save. Leaves the rebound there. Shower got another attempt at it. Puck's still loose. But Mandan able to get control, and out of the zone they come. Down the far side. Working it down low. Knocked off the stick there by Miedema. Fiala in there as well. They feed it out to the point. Shot sent on through traffic. Gets blocked by Fiala. Kicked away there by Mandan. Picked up by Miedema. Feathers a pass up to Shower. Shower down the left side. Comes into the zone. 2-on-1 here. Shot sent on back of the net. Jordy Shower just under the blocker. And the Aviators claim the first goal of the game here. They take the 1-0 lead with 10:23 to go here in the first period. Shower looking off the option. Miedema slid down with him. Got the goaltender to bite on it just a little bit. Able to shoot that one underneath the blocker, find the back of the net, give his team the 1-0 lead here. Aviators going right back on the attack. Nicholson shots it on. Back of the net. Goaltender thought he had it in the glove. Jumped up a little bit weird, but somehow finds the back of the net. Making this a 2-0 game here. Back-to-back goals in under 20 seconds. So Aviators getting the start they wanted. A couple goals here real quick, real early. Still 10 minutes to go here in the first period. Nicholson will take the face off. One back by Mandan. They bring this one in. They dump it down in the zone. Rings around the back of the net. Henderson will get on this one first. Henderson up the middle, trying to feed that one to Nicholson. Goes all the way down. That's going to end up going icing as the goaltender lets it go. And we'll head back down into the Aviators' end for this next face-off. Changing up the line here. Looks like Seffi will come out with Caden Yana and Mason Fargo. Norby and Henderson on defense. Aviators now shooting. Mandan 6-4. Mandan right off the face-off, though. Shot sent in. Back of the net. Not sure how that one went short side on Dom, but it's a 2-1 hockey game as Mandan strikes back. So 9:53 to go here, first period. 2-1 hockey game. One over to the sidewall, chipped up by Kulak. Mason Fargo helps it in. Mandan gets control. They go D-to-D in their own zone. Misplayed here a little bit. They send it back to the far side. Now through the middle. That goes off of Caden Giannis' skate. Mandan gets control again. They skate right here in front of us. Dump it down into the Aviators' end. Picked up by Benson. Fed over to the far side to Mason Fargo. He gets the red line. Dumps it down. No ice. The Aviators will chase after it. Gianna will be the first one near the puck. Now over to the near side will be Seffi. Steals it away. Tied up along the boards. Has it dug out of her skates, sent over to the far side. Mandan sends one through the middle here. It's off the stick a little bit. Benson is able to steal that back. This one dumped all the way down, arm up. This will go for icing. Face off. We'll head back down into the Mandan end. So 9 minutes, 10 seconds to go here. First period, 2-1 lead for the Aviators. Fiala's line out there now with Shower and Blasky. Fiala take the face off. Tied up. Blasky comes in to try to help out. Now Shower as well. Mandan will dig it loose. puck loose at the blue line. Mandan will get control out into the neutral zone. Down the right side, poked away there by Benson. Another attempt. Blasky trying to get this one out. Kind of bouncing around here at the top of the zone. Now Mandan's able to chip it down into the far corner. Kulak will send it up the wall. That'll bounce off the defenseman at the point. He'll be able to keep this one in, though. Down the right side. Backhanded out front. Goes off a stick in the slot. Still bouncing around there, but here's Blasky down the left side. Centering passer sent up by Benson. Blasky trying to find Shower out front, just off the tip of his stick to the far side, and back comes Mandan. Bad pass there, picked up by Easton Green. Chips it up the wall, trying to get this one to Shower. Does get it up to Blasky. Blasky dumps it in. Pass through the middle, goes all the way back down the Aviators' end, where it's picked up by Miedema. Backhands it up the wall, gets it to Shower. Shower far side, has Blasky on the near side. Shower works it to the middle, shot on, gets blocked by the defenseman. Fiala trying to dig this one off the wall, gets it out to Miedema at the point. Shots it on, goes off of Blasky's stick. Goaltender tried to glove that one, misplayed it a little bit. Bad pass there through the middle of the zone. Fiala took it away. And then maintains control, though, and they'll send it up the near side wall. Through the middle again. Miedema read that like a book, was able to steal that away. But Mandan able to recover, get this puck out of the zone. They bring it in, shot sent on, hits Greener in the hip. By picks it up for the Aviators as he goes behind the net, has pocket picked a little bit. Berg will get it on the near side corner, sent right through the middle, dangerous there as Mandan couldn't quite get to the puck in time to shoot it, but did get there first as they maintain control in the zone. By through the middle, bouncing puck. Still in the zone, but cleared out by Mandan, so they will have to regroup in the neutral zone. They feed this one over to the far side. Sent through the middle, off the stick. Greener will step up, try to get this one out, and will battle for it right here in front of the Aviators bench. Look like Berg will get control. Berg down the left side, trying to feed it to Nicholson, stolen away. Mandan with control again. They get this one out of the neutral zone. Bringing to the Aviators zone down the right side, trying to toe drag around Henderson. He was all over that one as it sent to Daxon in the middle. He feeds one, trying to get it to By, but sending it down, and that'll be no ice as the defenseman kind of gave up on it a little bit. Ref was right there. Didn't allow that as they send this one through the middle. Mandan off a skate, comes loose to Daxon. He blows an edge. Battle for it right here in front of the Aviators bench. Seffi gets shoved a little bit, comes loose to Daxon. Over to Henderson. Henderson down the right side with some speed, gets around one player. Works it down the corner, waiting for somebody to get out front. Feeds it back to the point. Daxon with it. Shots in on through traffic, gets tipped out front, not sure where it is. Goaltender's got it covered up. We get a whistle and a face-off coming here. Down in the Mandan end. So 6 minutes, 9 seconds to go. Here in the first period, a 2-1 lead for the Aviators. They had a 2-0 lead. Mandan able to strike back, though, and cut into that lead just a little bit. But that's where we stand as of now. Seffi out there with Yana and Fargo. Push forward. Fargo will chase after. He'll get there first. Chips it up the wall. Comes right to a Mandan player. Knocked off the Seffi stick. Kept in by Benson. But that one's out of play. And we'll get a face-off. Looks like down in the zone. It was sent out of play by the Aviators, but it should be the closest dot to where the puck went out. Yana tries to feed one up front. Yana trying to steal it back and turn around and fire one, but lost an edge there and sent it down low. Now Mandan sends it over to the far side. Fargo trying to steal it away. It's Seffi that gets a stick on it. Feeds one up front, goes out into the blue paint. Goaltender gets it covered up quickly, though. And we're going to face off down here in the Mandan end. Looks like the Fiala line will come out, replace Seffi's line. Blasky and Shower out there with Mason, Fiala, Kulak, and Benson on defense. Fiala to take the face off here for the Aviators. Sent over the near side by Mandan. They slow things down. Send the shot right out into neutralize. Benson will backhand this one in. It'll go down below the goal line. Mandan gets on it first. They chip it up the wall again. Blasky trying to steal it away. They do get that pass by. Now another one out into the center ice. They dump it down the zone, but Kulak gets control. Skates in front of his goaltender. Sends one over to Shower, who's able to chip it out. Mandan gets control, but Aviators trying to get this one back. Shower putting the pressure on. Sent over to the near side, a little bit off the mark, but no Aviators in sight. Mandan able to pick that one up, trying to get through the defense here. They work it out to the point. Now into the middle. Shot sent on, right in the glove of Dom, holds on, and we're going to face off. So 4 minutes, 59 seconds, first period, 2-1 lead for the Aviators. Shot shown in favor of the Aviators, 9-6. Push down in the corner, Miedema backhands it up the wall. By trying to chip this one out, comes loose over to Nicholson. Nicholson with the second goal. Thought about passing that one over to Berg, decides to skate it forward, has some speed down the right side, chips it off the defenseman, trying to get that one out front, but Mandan gets control. Wide will slow it down here along the boards, gets it to Berg, down in the corner. Nicholson will take off and get this one. He sends one through the middle, but that's off the mark, and back comes Mandan. East and Green, the defenseman back, gets a little shove on him. Mandan will get after it in the corner. Sent to the middle, gets it to Nicholson. Nicholson over to By, caught up in his skates, but they're able to chip this out down into the Mandan end. Back out into the neutral zone, but dump back to Miedema. Miedema chips one through the middle, gets it over to Berg. Berg brings it in down the left side. Dumps that one down into the far corner. Nicholson will chase after it. Out comes Henderson off the bench and replace East and Green. Back comes Mandan through the middle. Works it to the outside on the far side. Nice job by Miedema to poke that one away. By joins the defensive play. Now Owen Berg trying to hit Nicholson. This one will go all the way down. Looks like it'll go for icing. And we'll head back down into the Aviators end for the face-off. Looks like it'll be Seffi's line again here for the Aviators out there with Caden Yan and Mason Fargo. Henderson and Norby on defense. Seffi to take the face-off here for the Aviators. Tied up, sent down in the corner. Henderson will get control. Goes behind his own net, feeds it up the wall to Fargo. Feeds it to the middle to Seffi. Seffi with some speed down the far side, has Yana out front. Tried to backhand one over to him. Yana spins, turns, just misses the far pipe. Seffi, another centering pass, gets to Yana now to Henderson. Shot set on, blocked away by the goaltender. Daxton slides down. Gets control in the corner, gets hooked up and pulled down. Now Fargo behind the net, taking a look. Sent out to Henderson. Henderson shot set on. Fargo with another attempt. Goaltender off as a delayed penalty coming for interference here for Mandan. So the first power play of the game will go to the Aviators with just 3 minutes, 11 seconds remaining here in the first period. 2-minute penalty will go up on the board. There'll be a man advantage here for the Aviators. Fiala ties it up at center dot, picked off by Blasky. Blasky sends one over to Henderson. Henderson works it to the middle, spins away from one check, still has it, backhands one over to Blasky. Shot sent on right into the glove of the goaltender. And we'll set up and do the face-off again. Fiala to take the face-off. And then rings it around to the near side. Henderson will keep this one in, dumps it down the sidewall. Mandan gets control. They'll dump it over to the far side. Dexon will slide up, but Mandan was able to get there first and chip this one down the ice. Which in youth hockey, you can't do that, so icing will be called, and we'll head back down to the Mandan end here. Far side, same face-off dot to do it again. 2:45 to go in the period. Minute 34 to go on the power play here for the Aviators. Face off one back, but Mandan able to poke this one out of the zone. Look it over the red line, dump it down in. Dom will go back to stop this one for his defense. Henderson and Dom, little miscommunication there, ran into each other. Henderson spins away from one check. Dumps it down below the goal line for Daxon to pick up. Daxon picks this one up, sends one through the middle. Bouncing pass comes over to Ryder. Ryder dumps it in. Mason will chase after down below the goal line. About a minute to go on the power play here. Mandan with control. They'll ring this one around. Kulak will try to keep it in at the blue line. Backhands one over to Benson. That goes off of Blasky's legs. Mandan chips it out to the blue line, but it's knocked down here by Benson. He'll chip it back down the corner. Fiala will go after it. All in the corner. Shower in there as well. Dug out. Mandan with control. They'll try to dump this one down. Knocked down by Kulak. He'll sends one off the boards there as the high stick was getting called, and we're going to face off down on the Aviators' end. So 38 seconds to go on the power play. Defensive zone face off here for the Aviators. It'll be Nicholson's line coming out for the Aviators. Picked up by Wyatt. Wyatt slips around one guy. Works it out of the zone. Chips and tries to go around. Gets hooked up there a little bit. Down the right side. Tries to pull the trigger. Nicholson trying to chase it down. Another penalty should have been called there. Mandan dumps it out to the blue line, but kept in by Kulak. Kulak works it in. Gets over to Benson. Benson back out to Kulak. Kulak over to Nicholson. Nicholson shots and a knockdown by Berg. About 8 seconds to go on the power play. Nicholson feeds it out to Kulak. Kulak slides it down, try to dump it down. And Mandan will dump this down the ice. That'll kill the penalty. Benson will be the first one to get there for the Aviators. About a minute to go in the first period here as Benson skates this one forward. Slips around a couple different players, has control, brings in the zone, shots it on through traffic, goes off a stick up and out of play. Just as the guy comes walking in the door over there, almost got hit by it. We got a fresh puck from the scorer's table. We're going to face off here down in the Mandan end, and Seffi's line comes out for the Aviators. Wins that one over, centering pass, so comes out to Easton Green. He tried to chip it back in, but back comes Mandan as they stole it away. Down the right side, dumped down in the corner, picked up by Green. Green sends it up the wall, goes off Iana. Mandan rings around to the far side. They'll get on it first. Fargo trying to dig it out. It'll be Seffi that gets the puck here. She feeds one forward, trying to get up to Iana off of his skate, though. Mandan gets control, and they go D to D. They stretch one through the middle here. Bring it into the zone. Shot sent on. Blocked there by Easton Green. Puck loose in the slot. Shot sent on. Dom makes the save. Covers that one up. We'll get a face-off here in the Aviators' end with 23.3 seconds remaining in the first period. So Fiala's line comes out to take the face-off here in the defensive zone. That one pushed forward. Shots sent on right into the glove of Dom. We'll reset. Excuse me about the camera, and we'll do that one again. Fiala take the face off once again. One forward by Mandan. They push one out front. Dom dives on that one, covers it up. And we'll just reset. Aviators got to get a defensive zone win here as Shower comes and digs that one out. Gets swallowed up quickly, but is able to chip it out into the neutral zone. Mandan sends it over to the near wall. They'll dump this one right back in. Dom will reach out and glove that one. Lets it go. Hands it off to Miedema. Miedema sends it over to Shower. Shower eats this one in the corner, and that should basically do it for this first period. A 2-1 lead for the Aviators after one. So we'll stay out there as we started on fresh ice. Both teams will talk this over, talk about what they liked in the first period, what they didn't like, figure out what they can do to make adjustments to keep putting the pressure on Mandan here. They are out shooting them 12-9, leading in the score department as well, 2-1. But kind of felt like a couple fluky goals there for both teams. Mandan getting a kind of a weird one, and then the goaltender, I don't know if he got screened a little bit or whatever, but he misplayed it, jumped up like he was going to make a easy glove save, and then somehow tipped off the bottom of his glove and into the net. He wasn't too thrilled about it himself, so I'm sure he would love that one back. But either way, a 2-1 hockey game as we get ready for the second period. You can kind of see the Aviators down there gathered around their coaches, talking things over. Hopefully getting a game plan together for this second period. A little switch ends. Aviators will be coming from our left, Mandan from our right for this second period. 17 minutes back up on the board. Referees are ready to go. Aviators headed out to the face-off dot as well. Looks like it'll be Seffi's line out there with Caden Yana and Mason Fargo, Easton Green. One of the defensemen looks like it'll be Charlie Miedema joining him at center ice as Mandan is ready to go as well. Both goaltenders in net. Referees ready to go. We are ready to get this second period underway. One back by the Aviators. Miedema with it. Takes a look. Sends one over to the near side to Fargo. Fargo chips it forward. Mandan steals it away right here. They'll bring this one into the zone, but chipped right out by Charlie at the blue line. Trying to get around a couple different players. Does get it down into the Mandan end. Mandan kicks it back out. Miedema dumps this one in, down into the corner. Aviators will chase after it. Mandan gets on it first. Clock is not even started. Sent out to Miedema. Miedema shots in on. That one whistles by the far side and finally get the clock started. About 20 seconds late. Not too bad. Tipped on there by Seffi, goes just wide. Mandan gets control in their own zone. Backhands this one through the middle. Gets it out to center ice. Hand pass there. Caught and dropped down right to his own player. Looks like referees are discussing this one a little bit. They're going to take the face off right here, and they're going to have them run off about 15 seconds of the clock just to even things back up. Mandan called for that, so I'm sure the Aviators don't care. All right, so got time run off. Face off coming right here in front of us. One over to the near side. Mandan trying to push that one forward. Nicholson steals it back, dumps it into the zone. Mandan sends one to the far side. They'll get this one out easily. Bouncing puck. Nobody getting really clear control of it as Daxton sends it off the wall. Gets it up to Nicholson. Nicholson brings it in the zone. Gets it knocked off of his stick, but Berg picks it up. Tries to pull the trigger. Loses a footing. Goes down. Actually got stopped by Berg before it went in the net. He lost an edge there and took the goaltender out a little bit. I think the net might have come off as well. So we'll get a face-off here on the near side of the Mandan end. Nicholson to take the face-off. One back. Comes to Daxton at the point. Shots in on. Goes well wide. Picked up by Mandan. They chip it up the wall. They'll bring this one out into the neutral zone. Working on Henderson on the far side. Works it to the middle. Shots in on. Kicked away there by Dom. Picked up by his brother Daxton. Sent out to the point, but not out. But stolen away here by Nicholson. Lost the handle on it. Backhands into the middle. Gets it down into the zone. Daxton will chase after it. Far side. Berg trying to knock this one out of the air. Sent up the wall. Mandan will get this one out. Wyatt playing defense here. Henderson trying to get back to help out. Nice defensive play there by Wyatt. He gets pushed into the wall. Picked up by Berg. Berg gets sealed off along the wall. Daxton slides back to pick it up. He sends it up the wall. Trying to get this one to by. Shot sent out front. Back of the net. 2-2 hockey game as Mandan cleaned up that one out front. Got Dom moving left to right there, right to left, and then was able to find the back of the net, making this one 2-2 with 15 minutes to play in the second period. So it'll be the Fiala line coming up for the Aviators. Push forward here by Mandan. They bring it into the zone right away. Down the near side. They set up, taking a look. Shots it on. Blocker right through the 5-hole, and that one finds its way to the back of the net too, and Mandan takes their first lead of the game, 3-2. Just 9 seconds after the last goal. So shots tied up 12-12 now. Mandan with the lead, 3-2. Dumped in by Mandan. Kulak will chase after this one. Set up the wall, gets that one to Shower, but off of the mark there. Off the inside of Dom's hip in the back of the net. 3 goals here in 20 seconds for Mandan. And they lead now 4-2. Face off, coming here at center ice. Seffi to take the face off for the Aviators. Push forward. Fargo's going to chase after this one. Mandan will get there first. They dump it back down towards the Aviators' end. Picked up by Seffi. She slips away, tries to get up to Fargo. Now follows it up, but Mandan steals it right back. Brings it into the zone. Yana dumps it up to the blue line. Seffi picks it up. Brings it down the far side with some speed. Dumps it down in the corner, trying to chase after it. Ties up the guy in the corner. Fargo comes in to help out. Thrown away by Mandan. They send this one up the wall. Centering pass gets knocked away by Fargo. Dumped down in the corner by Yana. Seffi will chase after this one. Tied up behind the net. She sent one through the middle here. Minima sends one back to the middle, but Mandan got there first, and they'll skate this one out. Into the zone, down the far side. Shot sent on. Tip back door, back of the net. Another goal here for the Aviators. Or excuse me, for Mandan. They lead this one 5-2. They were trailing at the start of this period 2-1. But 4 goals back of the net. They take the lead 5-2 here with 13:48 to go in the second period. Nicholson's line out there for the Aviators. Controlled here by Mandan. They'll bring it right back in the zone. Dumped in, leaks out the back of the net. Dom struggling now. Sent over the far side. Berg gets it up to By. Over to Nicholson. Nicholson into the zone. Dumps it back to Daxon. Daxon takes a shot, hits a player before it gets to the net. Now picked up by Berg at the blue line. Berg feeds it down low, gets to Nicholson. Shot sent on, chips that one just wide. By picks it up behind the net. Trying to feed this one up to Nicholson. Nicholson spins, trying to backhand one over to Berg. And then I'll get control, but thrown away by. Turns around, shoots, goes off a skate. Nicholson will get control along the wall, dumps it down into the corner. Berg will chase after it. And then sent one through the middle, off the stick. Daxon poked it away, but back comes Mandan again, down the left side. Daxon knocked that one away. Pushes this one forward, trying to get up to By out to the point. Mandan able to dump this one back down in. Henderson takes off, seals off the guy behind the net, trying to steal this one back. Mandan putting the pressure on again, though. Chipped up the wall, picked up by Berg. Berg will chip this one out. Goes all the way down the ice, rolls in towards the goaltender, but not enough for icing here. Mandan plays pitch and catch behind the net, going D to D. They'll send it up the near side, almost taken away by the Aviators, but Mandan will bring this one out in center ice and down in the Aviators' end. Shot sent on, gets tipped out front, puck loose. Picked up by Shower. Shower, stretch pass, trying to get it up to Blasky. Tipped off of his stick. Blasky will chase after it, grabs it below the goal line. Spin around pass, sends it through to the far side. Trying to get to Fiala. Fiala will chip it down in the corner. Shower will chase after it. Mandan gets there first. Tied up behind the net. Now Blasky joins, but Mandan will get there and send this one up the wall. Kept in by Benson. Gets it to Shower. Shower centering pass off the mark. Turnaround shot there by Fiala. Surprised the goaltender a little bit, but was able to keep it out of the net. Knocked down at the blue line by Kulak. He dumps it in, gets it down to Shower along the wall. Knocked off the puck. Here's Kulak. Shots it on, blocked it away by the Mandan goalie. Picked up by Shower in the corner. Sent through the middle, trying to find Fiala. But Mandan will just skate this one out into center ice. Kulak able to steal that one away, gets it back out, dumped back in early there by Mandan. And we'll get a face-off here just outside the zone. So 11 minutes, 5 seconds to go, second period, a 5-2 lead for Mandan. Aviators started out strong in that first period, came into the second period leading 2-1. But I've given up 4 unanswered here to Mandan in that very short time. And they have the commanding lead here now in the second period. Far side, shots in on, blockered away there by Dom. Comes over to the near side. Fargo trying to poke this one out. Mandan gets control and they bring it right back in. Miedema, Fargo, Seffi in there trying to get this puck controlled and out of the zone, but Mandan able to kick it down low. Charlie sends it over the far side, gets it to Yana. Yana up the wall, trying to get it up to Seffi. Seffi kicks it to herself. Poking at it, tied up along the wall now. Caden Yana comes in as well. Mandan trying to push the pile around. It just keeps getting stuck back along the wall. Mandan finally digs it loose, gets it out front. Poked away there by Easton Green. Now Miedema with it, sends it up the wall, gets it to Seffi. Seffi chips this one down the ice. Don't think that'll go for icing. Mason Fargo trying to get there first, but it'll be Mandan. They'll turn it right back, right down Main Street. Shots it on, glove by Dom, holds on. We're going to face off. They'll face off down on the Aviators' end. 9:58 to go, second period. Mandan with the commanding lead now. Nicholson's line out there for the Aviators. Over to Henderson. Henderson trying to work this one up the wall, gets his pocket pick. Mandan works it off the wall, gets a shot off, but glove there by Dom, and will hold on. Face off. Again, far side of the Aviators' end. Nicholson take the face off. Picked up by Daxon, goes behind his own net, chips up the wall, gets it up to Bot. Taken away from him, dump back down. Daxon will dump it over to the far side. It'll come over to Berg. Berg will chip this one out in the neutral zone. He'll chase after it. Mandan will get to this one first. They feed one to the near side wall, knocked away by Nicholson, but sent over to the far side. Henderson will chase after it. He'll poke this one back out in the neutral zone, forcing Mandan to regroup. They send this one through the middle. They say it was touched by Daxon, so no ice. He goes behind the net, chips it up the wall, gets it to Berg. Jackson chases it up, follows it out to the blue line. Aviators finally get it out. Nicholson lost the handle on that one. It'll be By that skates it forward. He got his pocket picked. He has to return back. Daxon will grab it, chips this one forward, gets up to Nicholson. Nicholson will bring it in down the right side, lost the handle on it. Daxon battling out front. Sent through the middle, comes up to the point. Benson shots it on, kicked away by the goaltender. Mandan will just chip this one down. They're out into the neutral zone. Almost taken away there by Berg, but Mandan able to keep it moving towards the Aviators' end. But Shower hooked up against the wall here. Trying to get loose here are all the players. Sent over the near side, stolen away there by Fiala. He'll turn and skate it back down the left side into the corner. Feeds it through the middle, bouncing puck, knocked down by Shower. Shower with it, backhands one out to the Benson. Benson across the blue line, gets over to Kulak. Kulak elects to just dump it down low. Gets it to Shower. Shower over to the far side. Mandan will try to clear this one out. Will get it out to center ice, comes right to Kulak. Kulak will skate this one forward down the right side. Toe drag, shoots, goes wide. Far side, dumped all the way down by Mandan here. And that one will go up for icing. And we're going to face off back down the Mandan end. So Aviators controlling play there for quite some time. Not getting many solid shots on net or anybody out front for rebounds. Also getting a lot of people down below the goal line, way too many of them. Making it easy to clear the puck out there for Mandan. One over, comes to Blasky. Blasky backhanded one through the middle, sent over to Kulak. Benson thought about laying a big hit, but took the puck away instead. Brings it down the near side. Works it to the middle. Lost the handle on it. Pushed forward there by Fiala. Bosky around the corner. Fires. Goes off the side of the net. Mandan will ring this one around, but that'll go all the way down for icing. Actually, it will not. Slowed up pretty bad here. Picked up by Kulak. Over to Benson. Benson off the wall out to Shower. Tried to chip that one forward. Gets it to Seffi. She gets knocked down. Blasky tried to pick it up, but overskated it. Almost had a chance to take it away there. Fargo in the corner. Works it up front. Getting right through Seffi's. Oh, it's shot on there by Caden Yana. Goes off the post. Comes back to Miedema. Miedema turns, fires. Goaltender makes the save. Just leaves the rebounds out there. Nobody home for the Aviators, though. Out to the point. Benson can keep that one in. Feeds it over to Miedema on the near side. Miedema dumps it down in. Not deep enough, though. Mandan gets control. They'll just chip this one up the wall and out of the zone. Stretch pass through the middle, but offsides there on Mandan. And we'll get a face-off here just outside of the Aviators' end. With 6:35 to go, we'll move it out down by the Mandan end here. 6:35 to go second period, a 5-2 lead for Mandan. Seffi to take the face-off. Sent through the middle, that goes off of Gianna's skate, but Mandan gets control on the far side. They'll dump this one in, comes to Easton Green. He takes a look, sends it up the wall, a little bit too hot for Gianna, goes all the way down. They say it was touched by Mandan. Fargo will get on it first for the Aviators. He sets up, feeds one over to Gianna. Gianna couldn't quite corral that one. Did get a shot off, pushed it just wide. Mandan chips this one up. Seffi was able to knock it down. It does come out to Miedema, and now out into the neutral zone. We picked up by Gianna. Gianna turns, dumps it back down in. Knocked down by Mandan. They'll just dump it right back out. Comes to Easton Green. Trying to make some moves, get around a couple players. Brings it into the zone. Shots in on. Goaltender makes the save on that one. Wasn't quite sure where that was, but holds on, and we'll get a face-off down in the Mandan end. So 5 minutes, 48 seconds left to go in the second period. Nicholson's line out there for the Aviators with Wyatt By and Owen Berg. Henderson and Norby on defense. One back, comes clean to Henderson. Henderson's shot gets tipped, comes over to the near side. Daxton slides down. Tries to push this one down the corner, but Mandan's able to control it and send it over to the far side. They chip up the wall, comes right to Henderson, knocked off of his stick, comes to Berg. Berg shots up, sent on, gets blocked. Centering pass, Mandan will bring this one down into the Aviators' end. Picked up by Henderson. He'll skate this one forward down the right side. Stays with it, brings it down low. Gets tied up in the corner. Trying to take it loose, though. Mandan gets there first. They'll ring it around, come all the way out into center ice here. Picked up by Berg, sends it over to Daxton. Daxton through the middle, taken away. Knocked away by Berg, though. He'll bring this one in the zone down the right side. Try to backhand one out to Nicholson. Stolen away there by the defenseman for Mandan. Kept in by, well, not kept in by Berg. Offsides, they say. And we'll get a face-off here just outside of the Mandan end with 4:59 to play in the second period. Fiala's line comes out for the Aviators. Fiala to take the face-off. Blasky and Shower with him. It'll be Benson and Kulak on defense. One back by Fiala. Comes loose to Kulak. Kulak chips one up, gets to Shower. Shower brings it in the zone. Sends one through the middle, gets to Blasky. Blasky shots it on. Goaltender makes the save. And we'll get a face-off here. Looks like the right side of the Mandan end. Fiala take the face-off. Picked up by Blasky. Blasky dumps one off for Kulak. Kulak, Shower, down back to Kulak. Shot through traffic, gets blocked, never made it to the goaltender. Mandan will pick this one up, bring it out in the neutral zone. Now chip it down into the Aviators' end. Picked up by Kulak. Sends it up the wall. Stolen away by Mandan. Shots it on, goes wide. Picked up by Benson in his own corner. He'll skate this one forward, gives it up to Shower. Shower down into the zone, feeds it over to Blasky. Blasky, gotta be careful. Taking unsportsmanlike here as we'll get a face off far side here. Of the neutral zone, just outside the Mandan end. Seffi's line coming out for the Aviators. She'll take the face off. Miedema and Green on defense. This one went over to Caden Yana. He backhands one over to Miedema. Miedema off the wall, gets it up to Fargo. Fargo brings it into the zone. Shots in on. Goaltender makes the save. Rebound kicked out. Dumped down here by Mandan. This one will go down the ice. Won't go for icing as Miedema will chase it down. Miedema puts on the brakes. Feeds over the near side. Gets it out into the neutral zone. Knocked down here by Caden Yana. Mandan tips it around to the far side. It'll be Seffi gets on it first, trying to push that one down the corner. Now Fargo joining the rush, but Mandan able to chip this one out in the neutral zone and back on the attack. Down into the Aviators' end. Shots in on. Glove there by Dom. Holds on, and we'll get a face-off. Face-off tied up. Comes loose right to Owen Berg. He'll skate this one out. Works his way to the outside on the far side. Kicks it to himself. Brings it down into the corner. Tried to feed one towards the net, but it comes. Oh, I thought the goalie tried to cover that up, but kind of let it go there. And we play on. It's tied up in the corner. Owen Berg trying to get control of this one. Dumped over to the near side. And then trying to clear that one, but Bio was able to dump that one down below the goal line. Sent off the wall. Daxon will slide down. Picks this one up. Tried to turn and fire. Somebody blocked that one. And then trying to send this one out. Tipped off of Wyatt's stick. Picked up by Berg. Berg brings it in down the right side. Lost the handle on it. Comes right to Wyatt. Wyatt turns, fires. Nicholson tried to get tip on it. Goaltender kicked it into the far corner. Mandan gets there first, but knocked away by Wyatt. Mandan D to D down low. Now they stretch one out to the blue line. They'll bring this one in the zone down the right side. Trying to get through the defense. Worked into the corner. Now centering pass comes all the way out to the defenseman. Defenseman turns, fires. Puck loose right there. Dexon able to clear it loose. Gets a shove on a guy. Sends it up the wall out to the point. Shots it in. Dom leaves a puck laying there. Henderson. Dumped all the way down. And then gets control, turns it right back towards the Aviators' end. Aviators caught in a change here. Trying to get around Henderson. Shots and angles just wide. Shower sneaks around, steals that one away. Sends it up the wall, gets it up to Blasky. Brought into the zone, down the right side. Goes behind the net. Was taking a look, slows things up. Tried to feed up Fiala, but stolen away by Mandan. They set up behind their own net. Fiala able to steal that one away. Trying to get it back to Blasky. Blasky goes behind the net. Now it's on Shower's stick. Shower feeds it out to Fiala. Fiala shots in on. Got partially blocked. He kicked wide. Benson slides down. Dumps this one down low. Fiala will chase after it. Try to feed over to Blasky. Jumped his stick. Mandan will get control in the far corner. And they'll work this one out. Dumped all the way down. Looks like it'll go for icing. We'll head back down to the Mandan end here. With just a minute 14 left to go in the second period. Mandan all over the Aviators 5-2. Shots tied up 21-21. But Aviators really struggling in this second period. Goaltending hasn't been great. Defense has been lackluster. Haven't created a lot of offensive chances. Have controlled play at times. Just never really got any solid shots on this goaltender. But back comes Mandan. Offsides here. Knocked away. Picked up by Shower. Shower trying to chip and go around the defenseman. Gets into the zone, but Mandan able to get that one out. Picked up by Benson. Benson over to Kulak. Kulak off the wall. Gets it off Fiala's stick down into the zone. Mandan will get on it first. They'll send this one up into the netting, and we'll get a face-off down at the Mandan end here with 45.3 seconds to go in the second period. They will resurface after this period, so we'll take a short little break. Hopefully the third period's better than the second period was for the Aviators. They struggled quite a bit, giving up 4 unanswered. They were leading 2-1. They were leading 2-0 at one point. But a fluky goal made it 2-1, and then just a quick set of 4. Here's a shot sit on. Big save there by the goaltender. Mason Fargo couldn't quite elevate that one, and Caden Yannick corralled the rebound. Mason Fargo trying to steal it away along the wall. Sent out to the point. Miedema is able to keep it for the moment. Looks like it does come out at center ice. Mandan will take that loose. Easton Green, the lone man, back. 2-on-1. Shots it on. Dom makes the save. Centering pass comes right out to the point. Dom got tripped up with Charlie. Bouncing puck comes right back up front, but a nice defensive play there by Charlie. Puck behind the net. Mandan putting the pressure on. Trying to clear the puck loose. But that is the end of 2. A 5-2 lead for Mandan as they head to the third period. We're going to get some fresh ice. We're going to take a short little break, and we'll be back here in about 10 to 15 minutes. Hopefully you can join us for that. All right, here come the Aviators, third period. We'll get underway here in just a few moments. Aviators got some work to do here. Down 3 goals. Trailing 5-2. Shots tied up 22-22, but Aviators giving up 4 straight there in a short amount of time early in that second period. Controlled the play for most of it the rest of the way of that, second period, but unable to pot one of their own. They got a couple in the first period. They led this game 2-0 at one point. Now, they technically gave up 5 unanswered, but 4 in a very short amount of time there in the second period. Aviators struggling a little bit on defense, not getting great goaltending, and unable to get any solid shots on net or get to rebounds, allowing this goaltender to kick out rebounds. He loves to leave them laying there, but Aviators haven't been capitalizing on those rebounds, allowing Mandan to clear the zone fairly easy at times. "17 minutes up on the boards. Players just getting their legs stretched out here, get ready for this third period. 1 more to go. Aviators with a 3-goal deficit. Hopefully you'll be able to cut into that here early in the third period. So get to work. They got 17 minutes to do it. Aviators need to find a way to right the ship here. Only got a couple games left to go. Williston tomorrow. Grafton on Tuesday. If they play like this against Grafton, it'll be a bad beating. And then they will have the play-in game to see if they can even go to the state tournament. Looks like Seppi's line will start it out for the Aviators here. Out there with Caden Yana, Mason Fargo. It'll be Miedema and Green on defense. Puck down, 1 back by Seffi. Comes to Miedema. Loops back into his own end, takes a look. Feeds one over to Green. Off of his stick out in center ice. He chips one in. They'll say no ice on that one as it's chased down by Mason Fargo. Mandan gets it first. They send it up the wall. Kept in by Miedema. He'll dump it back down low. Yana will take after it. Mason Fargo as well. Yana gets to it first. Seffi will steal this one away in the far corner. Turns, takes a look, sends one out front. Back of the net. Caden Yana standing back door, is able to chip that one in. Nice pass there by Seffi. Finding Yana on the back door. Aviators get on the board, make it a 5-3 game here. Just 19 seconds into the third period. So a 2-goal game now. Seffi's line will stay out there. She'll take the face off here at center ice after that goal. One by Seffi, over to Fargo, goes off of him. Mandan will push this one down in the Aviators' end. Stopped there by Miedema. Miedema sends one through the middle, gets it up to Yana. Yana off of his skate. Mandan steals it away, brings it right back in. Nice job by Miedema there, forcing the drop pass. Shots in on, glove down by Dom, and we're going to face off far side here, looks like, of the Aviators' end. The shots tied back up, 23-23. Mandan with the 5-3 lead here. Just 35 seconds into this third period. Fiala's line out there, bouncing puck, comes out into the slot, but push forward, gets up to Blasky. Blasky brings it in down the left side, into the zone. Works it down low. Goes behind the net. Tried to feed it out front to Fiala. Whiffed on that one. Mandan gets control. Knocked away there by Fiala. Shots in on by Shower. Gets blocked. Blasky sends it up to the point to Daxon. Daxon sends a shot on. Mandan trying to get control in their own zone. They'll go behind their own net. Shower putting the pressure on. They send it up the far wall. Misplayed there a little bit. Sent out into the neutral zone. Tied up along the boards. Back comes Mandan down the far side. Fiala doing a nice job of defending. Steals the puck away there. Chips this one down. That'll go off of Mandan's stick right here in front of us. They'll get control in the neutral zone. Chip through the middle. Misplayed. Comes loose to Nicholson. Backhands one up to Blasky. Blasky can handle that puck. Mandan gets control. He'll send it off the wall. Kulak trying to keep it in. He'll come out into the neutral ice all the way down off of an Aviator stick, so no ice as By picks it up at his own goal line. Feeds it up the wall, gets it to Benson. Benson through the middle, had it stolen away by Mandan. In the high slot, picked up here by Berg. He'll turn it back. Sends it over to Kulak. Kulak backhands one over to the near side. Mandan backhands one out in the middle. Stolen away here by Benson. Mandan with control again. Now Kulak trying to steal it back. He'll pick it up, try to feed it up to Nicholson. Berg steals it away. He'll have control on the far side. Cuts it through the middle, lost an edge there. Arm goes up. We're going to get a tripping call here. I think he toe picked there a little bit. Wasn't even touched by the Mandan player, but the ref saw it the other way. One of them bang-bang plays. It's hard to tell, but I think he caught an edge as he tried to turn there. Mandan arguing about this one a little bit. But either way, it'll be a power play for the Aviators. 14:47 left in the third period. They trail by 2. They're going to look to cut into this lead here as that one's pushed forward by Mandan all the way down. Dom's going to stop this one. Backhands one over to Benson. Benson sends one through the middle. That's off the mark. Tipped by a Mandan player all the way down the ice. Mandan goalie comes out to play this one. Hands it off to his defenseman. Backhanded dangerously there. Mandan still with control, though. They'll get this one out to center ice where it's knocked away by Mandan off a By's stick there. Big hit by Berg. Here's Benson. Goes behind his own net. Slows things up. Slips away from one check. Tied up along the boards. Caught up in some skates. It comes shooting out to By, who feeds it up to Berg. Berg up to Kulak. Kulak down the left side. Trying to go around the defenseman. Lost the handle on it. Nicholson comes over to try to steal this one away. Looks like Wyatt By's on defense. Kulak forward now as Kulak chips this one up in the air behind the net. Bouncing puck. Nicholson trying to knock it down. Comes loose to Kulak on the far side. Takes a look. Feeds it up to the point to By. Back to Kulak. Kulak off the side wall. Shot sent on. Goes off a stick up and out of play. And we're going to face off on the far side of the Mandan end here. With about 49 seconds left to go on the power play. 13 and a half minutes left to go in this third period. Aviators down by 2. Seffi's line comes out for the Aviators. It'll be Yana and Fargo at forward here with Seffi as Yana tries to get that one towards the net. Yana gets there first, swings it around out to the point, comes to Minima, misplayed though, and comes out center ice. He'll send it over to his D partner, Easton Green. Green skates this one forward, dumps it down into the Mandan end. Fargo will chase after it. He'll get there first. Goes behind the net, uses his big frame, leans into it. He gets hooked up, tripped down, no call. Sent over the point. Green keeps it in, shots in on, tipped there by Seffi. Loose puck. Yana pushed one just wide. Seffi feeds it out to Minima. Minima sends one short side, tipped on by Fargo, goes behind the net. Mandan gets there first. Yana battling forward in the corner. Seffi comes in to help out. Fargo camped out just up the boards a little ways. That's the end of the penalty as it comes out to Minima. Shot sent on, gets tipped up high. Touch there by Seffi. She puts one in the back of the net, but the whistle had just blown for the high stick, so we'll head back down to the Aviators' end for a face-off. 12:41 left to go third period. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. 5-3 lead here from Mandan. Aviators scoring one early in the third period to cut into that lead. They were down 5-2. That'll be the Fiala line out there for Grand Forks with Blasky and Shower. Fiala to take the face off. Jackson and Henderson on defense. Up to Blasky along the wall. Retreats back down lower. Sends it over to Daxon. Daxon chips one up, gets it to Shower, a little bit behind him, and Dan will get control at their own blue line. They'll send it up the wall, comes right back to Daxon. Daxon tries to send one through the middle, goes off a body. Mandan trying to get control here, but it'll be picked up by Henderson. He'll skate this one forward with some space. Brings in his zone down the right side, hands it off to Fiala. Fiala shot on, tip possibly just wide as it gets sent back down to Henderson down low. He gets knocked down, trying to get control of this puck. Sent out to the blue line. Mandan will bring it through the neutral zone, working 1-on-3. Nice Steal there by Shower as he cuts it to the middle, gets it over to Henderson. Henderson whiffed on that one. Daxon follows up. He'll skate this one forward. Then down into the Mandan end. Right through the middle, Mandan. Wyatt on defense. Good poke check there. Picked up by Shower. Tried to chip it up the wall, but Mandan will get control. They'll bring it right back into the zone down the left side. Cuts it down low. Shot sent on. Beats Dom to the back of the net. It's a 3-goal lead again for Mandan as they strike one more time, make it 6-3. With 11:34 to go here in this third period. Six, 3 in favor of Mandan. Shots 24-24. Face off, one back, comes to Benson. Benson feeds it up the wall, gets to Kulak. Kept in by Mandan, or they say nope, offside, so we're going to face off far side, just in front, or just outside the Aviators' end. Nicholson's line out there, he'll take the face off. Benson works it over to Wyatt. Wyatt through the middle, trying to hit Nicholson. A little bit behind him, and back into the zone they come, down the right side. Sent through the middle, all the way to the far side, out to the blue line. And then able to keep it in. They dump it down low. Be wide by on the near side that gets to it first for the Aviators. Chips up the wall, gets it to Berg. Berg through the middle, gets to Kulak. Kulak in the zone behind the defense. Shots it on. Goaltender makes the save. And we'll get a face-off down in the Mandan end. Seffi's line comes out for the Aviators. 10:58 to go here. Third period, 6-3 lead for Mandan. Bouncing puck corralled here by Seffi. Feeds it up to the point to Benson. Shots it on. Goaltender makes the save, but drops it out behind him. The Aviators get back on the board here. Cut it back down to a 2-goal lead on a shot from Benson at the point. Goaltender thought he had it squeezed between his arm and his body, but it leaked out behind him. And the Aviators answer back here. 10:51 to go, third period. 6-4 lead for Mandan. Seffi's line, take the face off. One back, gets over to Fargo. Fargo trying to get one over to Benson. It comes back to Seffi. She loops back in her own zone, feeds over to Wyatt. Wyatt skates this one up the near side. Brings in his zone down the left. Dump down into the corner. Behind the net, Yana comes over. He gets shoved into the boards a little bit. Mandan gets it back on it, but Seffi ties him up along the boards. Yana in there as well. A couple hits in the corner. Yana in there battling still, so is Seffi. Still tied up along the boards, finally dug out by Seffi, gets up to Benson. Benson brings it down the wall, feeds it out to Yana. Yana tried to get right back to him. Seffi had retreated though, or not Seffi, Benson. Seffi has it now, feeds it up to Fargo, but a little bit too far, and then gets control. They'll send it out to the blue line. Not out, but now finally does come out right onto Benson's stick as he feeds it over to Wyatt. Wyatt back in the zone, hands one off to Fargo. Fargo through the middle, trying to hit Benson. Got knocked away by a Mandan stick there. Yana has to retreat to pick this one up. Feeds it to the middle, trying to get over to Fargo, stolen away by Mandan. They bring it into the zone, but they're offsides. They retreat and come back out in the neutral zone. Battle forward along the board, sent down into the Aviators' end. Yana will chase after it. He sends one up the wall, gets it up to Shower. Shower's going to chase this one down the left side. Mandan looks like they might get there first. Shower able to dig it loose. It does come out to a Mandan stick. Actually, here's Fiala out front. Somehow got to his stick. He was standing there all alone. Nice save there by Easton Green. Shot sent on by Shower. A couple players out front, but a big rebound by the goaltender clears it out. And back comes Mandan down the far side, down the left. Shots it on. Glove there by Dom. Couldn't handle that one. Sent around. Comes up to the point. Mandan walks it in. Shots it on. Gets tipped. Player steps on that one. Almost fell down. It'll be Easton Green in the corner. Sends it up the wall. Mandan gets on this one first, but pulled forward here by Shower. Shower will bring it into the zone down the left. Has Fiala cutting to the net. Feeds it over to him. Handcuffed him just a little bit. Did get a shot off, but it was a little bit too late. Nothing over the net. But out to Green. Green shots it on, knocked down there by Fiala. Big hit from behind there by Fiala. He'll head to the box. Could be for an extended period of time here, too, which hurts as the Aviators are still down 2 goals with 8.5 minutes to play here in the third period. We'll see if the referees talk this over. Fiala heads to the box. We're going to face off down in the Aviators' end, but the referee's talking it over here. Mandan players hovering as the Aviators hang out in their own zone. So 2 minute and a 10-minute. Fiala out for the rest of the game. Someone else will head to the box to serve his 2-minute penalty. Aviators will be on the penalty kill here for the next 2 minutes. Looks like they'll send Luke Nicholson maybe to the box here for the 2-minute penalty. So only 8.5 minutes to go here in third period. 10-minute penalty to Mason Fiala, so he will not be able to play again unless it somehow goes to an overtime. And even then, it'll be a short amount of time as Shower's able to chip that one down. Blasky's going to try to chase it down. Mandan will get there first. They backhand it over to the far side. Shower trying to steal it away, but Mandan brings it back. 2-on-2 down the far side. Sent through the middle, tipped there by Mandan. Up and out of play. Goes on to the netting of the shooting tarp over here to the right. And we're going to face off here in the Aviators' end. That'd be Kulak and Berg at forward here. Jackson and Henderson at defense. Kulak wins the face-off back, controls it himself, dumps it around the glass all the way out to the blue line, but kept in by Mandan. They'll dump it back down the corner. Jackson trying to steal this one away in the corner. Pokes that one away as well. Mandan still with control, though. They dump it back out to the blue line, clear the zone themselves. They'll have to regroup out in the neutral zone here as Berg puts a little bit of pressure on. Backhanded over to the near side. Berg almost getting there as well. Forces the misplay here as Jackson chips this one forward to himself. Spins, trying to push it forward, but Mandan gets control. They bring it into the zone. Cuts it to the middle. Slowing things down. They feed it back to the defenseman on the far side. Shots it on, gets partially blocked. Dom trying to dive on this one. They somehow got it loose, but the whistle had blown, and we're going to face off here in the Aviators' end with 54 seconds left on the power play for Mandan. 7:23 remaining in the third period. 6-4 lead still for Mandan as we reach the second half of this third period. Kulak to take the face off again. Benson and Charlie out there at defense now. Berg still out there at wing. Charlie will ring this one around to the near side. Berg trying to get this one out of the zone. Looks like he will. It'll come loose to Kulak. Kulak working one-on-one. Cuts it to the middle. Had it poked away. Mandan will stay on it. They'll stretch it out to the blue line. Back comes Mandan. Working to the outside. Nice job by Minima, forcing him wide. Stuff attempt comes loose. Dom slides over, makes a big save there. Berg stretches one through the middle, gets it over to Kulak. Mandan gets control again. Back to their own blue line. Up to the Aviators' blue line. Brought it into the zone. Backhanded over to the winger. Shots sent on through traffic. Gets blocked by Berg. Kulak trying to clear the zone. Cannot. Dumped back down in by Mandan. Picked up by Benson behind the net. Here's Kulak. Spins. Fires. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Mason Fargo joins them. Caught up in his skates a little bit. Shots in on. Dom makes the save. Holds on. And we're going to face off. So face off far side here of the Aviators' end. 6:14 to go. We're back to 5-on-5. Aviators still trailing by 2 here. Giuseppe's line out there for the Aviators. Mason Fargo and Caden Yana with her. Easton Green, Nick Henderson at defense. Push forward here. Picked up by Fargo. He lost an edge. Got actually caught up on Nick Henderson's stick, and Mandan brings it right back in. Shots in on, goes off to Easton Green's leg. Picked up by Henderson. Feeds up to Fargo. Fargo slips around one check. Feeds it up. Try to get to Steffi off the back of her leg. Mandan gets control and dumps it back down in the Aviators' end. Easton Green goes behind his own net, spins away, cuts it through the middle, try to backhand one up to Yana. Gets it up the wall. Looks like they'll get this one out into the neutral zone all the way down for an icing. And we'll head back down to the Aviators' end for another face-off. It'll be the new look top line here as looks like we got Blasky centering his fellow winger, Jordy Shower, and Wyatt Baez joined them as well. That shot's sent on. Dom makes the save. Shower trying to get this one loose. Miedema and Daxon on defense. Blasky stretches one through, gets it up to Wyatt. Wyatt one-on-one, trying to get around the defense. Works it in, gets it knocked away, comes back to try to get this one, try to send up the wall to Blasky, but Mandan was able to get control, but Shower steals it away behind the net, try to feed one out the front, goes off of White. He gets taken down out front. Miedema slides in, takes a shot, that goes off a body. Daxon trying to settle it down, but it comes out in the neutral zone. And he just backhands one to nobody and stolen away by Mandan. Picked up by Shower, bouncing puck, finally settles it down, brings it in, makes a move. Gets through a couple of different players, lost the handle on it. Sent over to the near side. Blasky will get it for the Aviators. Takes a look, feeds it out to Miedema. Miedema dumps it down low. This one will come around to the far side over to Wyatt. Wyatt let that one go. Sends it off the wall, gets to Blasky. Blasky pushes one over to Miedema. Miedema walks in, shots it on. Goaltender makes the save, leaves the rebound there. Knocked down by Shower, comes to Wyatt behind the net, picked up by Shower. Tried to hand it off to Blasky. Wyatt with it in the corner. Tied up the Mandan skate here. They still have control. They'll get control of this. They'll dump it off the glass. Kicked out by Daxon, but it comes right to a Mandan player as Charlie tries to chase him down. Works it out front. Runs into the goaltender. Daxon trying to get his stick back. Dom trying to make sure his helmet's still on. Shower gets knocked off the puck. Shot turned down. Knocked down. High stick. I don't know how that was.
High stick. Off the crossbar.
Above his shoulder. But it'll be a good goal here. 7-4 lead for Mandan. So, 3-goal lead once again for Mandan here as we get down under 4 minutes to play here in the third period. Face off one back by the Aviators, picked up by Benson. Benson over to Green. Green up the wall trying to hit Owen Berg, but a little bit too hard and all the way down the ice for icing. So Nicholson to take the face off for the Aviators. One back here, comes right to Benson. He goes behind his own net, lost the handle on it. Mandan trying to steal this one away. Comes loose to Nicholson. Nicholson gave that one right back. Knocked down by Easton Green. Puck loose right out in front, but Aviators able to stop the attempt there as Kulak gets behind the defense. Brings this one down in. Shots it on. Goaltender makes the save. Kulak gets it back though. Feeds it out front. Trying to get that one to Nicholson. Mandan will get control. They'll stretch this one through the middle. This one will probably go down for icing as it gets past the defense. Benson trying to chase it down, but an icing call here on Mandan. We'll head back down to their end for a face-off. So 3 minutes, 11 seconds to go. 3-goal lead for Mandan. 7-4 as we get a face-off down here in the Mandan end. Seffi tied up. Fargo trying to dig it loose, but Mandan will get control. They'll send it up the near side. Benson steals it right back at the red line, turns it right back down the left side, gets knocked off the puck. Fargo trying to get control. Here's Yana, gets a shot off. Goaltender makes a save. Sent through the middle. Benson gets on for the Aviators, loops back into his own zone. Will go behind his own net. Sends it through the middle, gets up to Mason Fargo, but not out. Mandan keeps it in the zone. Shots in on. That one goes up and over the net. Benson picks it up, has it taken away. Picked up by Seffi. Turns, has some space. Skates this one forward, gets it up to Yana. Off of his stick. Brought down into the Mandan end. Sent behind the net. Mandan see that puck to Seffi. She grabs it again here in the corner. Sent out to the point, comes out to Daxon, walks it in, shots it on, goes wide. Henderson will slide over and picks this puck up. Sent up the wall. Here's Mandan trying to get behind Daxon. Daxon defending nicely. Forcing that one up the wall. Daxon will pick this one up, trying to get it out in the neutral zone and will. Mandan, excuse me, will retreat back into their own zone here. Centering pass. Knocked away by Wyatt there for a second. And then just playing keep away here from the Aviators at the moment. They set up behind their own net. The backhand went off the wall. They dump it down low. Wyatt puts the pressure on. Jordy Shower in there as well. Now Blasky. And then Mandan will skate this one down. Works it down the left side. Shots it on right into the glove of Dom. Holds on, and we'll get a face-off down in the Aviators' end. Minute 19 to go here, third period. Aviators still trailing 7-4. They're leading the shot department 32-31. Blasky take the face off out there with Wyatt By and Jordy Shower. Easton Green and Minema on defense. Picked up by Minema. Feeds it forward to Blasky. Blasky through the middle, gets to Shower. Shower down the right side, brings in his own, shots it on. Goes off the defenseman's legs over to the near side corner. Sent up the wall, Blasky. Pushes it back down low below the goal line. Mandan trying to get this puck up and out of the zone, but the Aviators able to pin him in for just a moment here. Knocked away there by Shower. They send it behind the net. Wyatt trying to steal it away. Mandan with control. They'll send this one out to the blue line, get this one out over the red line, down to the Aviators' end, down the right side. Shower trying to steal it away. Shot sent towards the net, goes up and over into the far corner. Send one out right out front, back of the net. Wide open player all alone. Dom didn't see him. Defense didn't see him. Mandan gets the puck to him. He finds the back of the net. Makes this an 8-4 game with just 31 seconds left. Oh, Aviators completely collapsing here today. Again, struggling. Had a good weekend last weekend, but have not been able to find a way to put it together so far through these first two games of this weekend. Have another one to play tomorrow, too, against the even tougher opponent than the first two. We'll see how they respond tomorrow as this one's picked up by Benson. Skates this one out of the zone. Gets it up to Kulak. Kulak down the right side. Shots it on. Blockered away. Somehow ends up in the back of the net. Goaltender thought he had it. Blockered it. Knocks it in on himself, and it's 8-5, but just too little too late as there's only 13 seconds left to go in the game. Face off one back, picked up by Benson. Benson brings it in the zone down the right side. Shots it on. Goaltender makes a save, knocked down. Benson trying to get control of it. Chipped out front by Nicholson. Kulak slides up. He sends a shot on. That gets tipped wide, and that's the end of this one. An 8-5 victory for Mandan. So that'll do it for us today. We'll head to tomorrow, hoping for some better results. Williston tomorrow, senior day or second year day, however you want to call it. Gets started probably a little bit early. I have it live set up for 11, but keep an eye out for that starting early. We'll let you know on the Facebook too if we're going to get that going, but should have some fun festivities going on tomorrow. I'll hopefully have a little more information on that and be able to relay that to you guys before the game tomorrow morning, or even maybe this evening if we have that information. So we appreciate you, as always, joining us, and we'll see you guys next time.